So today we're going to talk about things I wish I knew before I traveled. So, being a newbie to international travel, there's a few things that I think I would have changed. Not a lot. I think overall I was pretty well prepared, but I would take a few extra snacks. Because when you go into an area that is different than the food that you normally eat, especially for your kids, it's a good idea to take some snacks. So you want to check and see whatever you're allowed to take and that kind of stuff, and what kind of access you'll have to cooking arrangements and stuff. But I would definitely do that. If you are able to take any kind of caffeine, I would, because the time switch is a little rough. It's actually a lot worse coming back though. I think you do okay with the first time flip, but the second one coming back it's been really difficult. And on top of it, I've had a sick baby, so his little body just gave in to all of the germs and stuff like that. I tried so hard to keep him protected, but I mean, between the airports and the airplanes and then all the people touching on him and wanting to see him, and it just colds and stuff going around the time of year it is, I guess it was just bound to happen. So we're actually going to the doctor here shortly to have his lungs listened to and all that to make sure he's okay. But I would take less of my vitamins and stuff like that. I think I would just take and put whatever I need into like a pill deal. We actually brought the bottles and stuff, and I ended up just leaving everything there and just like, I'll buy when I come back because I didn't want to carry extra. I definitely brought enough clothes for him. I would have brought more clothes for myself that were my own. We bought clothes when we were there, under the anticipation that that's what we would wear, and we did. Primarily, I mean, dresses the local people did, but at night and just for casual when nobody else was around, it would have been nice to have had more of my own clothes personally. I made sure I had all of the toiletries and that kind of stuff, so I think we were good there. So really just kind of the snacks, scale back on the way that things were packed. I wouldn't take as many shoes because we bought shoes when we were there, but I would definitely make sure you still keep a comfortable pair that you have broken in, because you don't want to have sore feet, for sure. For sure. Maybe just a few little extras for your younger kids that are things that they have with them that make them comfortable. Sometimes it's a blanket, sometimes it's a pillow, sometimes it's a toy, that kind of stuff. Because even though we were all together, my youngest daughter still got a little homesick. And was ready to come home for just her things at home. So that's probably what I would do on that. Overall, I think that's about all I would do on that. It was a good trip. I have a lot of videos that are going to be coming that are from that. I can't show everything because of the privacy of people who are in the videos, so I'm having to do a lot of extra editing, so it's taking me a little bit longer. My original intent was to do an entry every single day while we were there, but we just couldn't. There was power outages, there were Wi-Fi outages, trying to keep our devices charged, constant interruptions, responsibilities of, entertaining people and people wanting to meet us, and just being on opposite schedule. It just didn't work out the way that I thought it would before I went. So that part just didn't happen. So what I'm going to try to do is do an entry from home here and then just show some of the video and the photos and things that I can that would help show how our experience was. We did get to go to Dubai on 2 pretty lengthy layovers, so I've got a great bit of video coming from Dubai that we did on our second layover on our way back home, because we were there I think 14 hours, and we got to go on a tour of the city, and we've got to see a lot of things, and so definitely watch for that one. That is going to be coming from Dubai. And then also our experience on Emirates airline, that was, I've got some video footage there, and just, you know, what to expect and how our flight was. So we'll be doing that. And I have some different cultural things that are coming from Pakistan. It's going to show the big city of Lahore versus the smaller villages. You know, it is a completely different lifestyle. I'm not even going to go into it today. It is just night and day different from what we're used to here. But I think it's a really great experience for people to get to go to different places. I mean, not necessarily Pakistan, but other places, and really see what those countries are like. But just be prepared that you're tired when you come back. Really, really tired. Especially because we ended up attending 2 different marriages while we were there. And they're big. They're exhausting. And of course, us being visitors, we were expected to really sit and visit with a lot of people and get to know them, and everybody just wanted to see us, and you know, my husband was just going 100 miles an hour because he's from there. Everybody knows him. There was an expectation of him to meet and greet just almost every guest, and there was a little bit of that expectation of me, but not as much because I don't speak the language. So my visits were probably a lot shorter. Because I either had to have an interpreter, or we kind of sit there and we try to fumble through and, you know, stare at each other a lot. So, and I also had, you know, to take care of the baby, and so a lot of times I would have to, you know, take my leave for a little while to get him taken care of. So, I will be touching base, and we'll be doing some editing on that video, and to just, I hope you find it interesting. If there's some stuff that you want to see, feel free to make some comments, and if I have it available, I will show it. I took a tremendous amount of video while I was there, and it's just a matter of what parts I can show and what parts I can't show, you know, out of the courtesy to other people. So, one thing I did discover is, let's see, the clothing does not flatter my body style whatsoever. Every photo that came out of those marriages, I look like the Goodyear blimp. I am not skinny by any means, but I really look like the Goodyear blimp. So, I have decided that is not the look for me at this time. I felt like a giant. I was probably a good 5 inches taller than almost everybody. Thank goodness our 13-year-old is a little taller than me, so she at least was as tall as I am, so I wasn't alone. Because when I look back at the pictures, I look like a giant, and I'm 5'5", so I'm not like a really tall person, but I looked like a giant there. So that was kind of interesting. But I definitely had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed getting to know my extended family now. I mean, now it's different being able to talk to them and know a little bit more about who they are. And I think it's probably the same for them too, that they now have had to, you know, the opportunity to really just sit with me and get to know me. And so hopefully everybody liked me, and I guess if they didn't, they didn't. And you know, I am who I am and they are who they are, but I found it to be enjoyable. So I have to get running now. I've got to get the little man bathed for his doctor's visit, and we've got a few other appointments and things to do. So I'm going to work on these other videos, and so you might see a bunch kind of coming back to back, which would be unusual for my blog, but I want to make sure that as I have an opportunity, it might be as he's sleeping, that I can get them out and so you can see them. And I'll try to link them up as best I can. That part might happen post upload, just because of needing to put them in the right order of sequence of what things were happening. But I definitely have some fun video for people who like crazy road action. I can show that, and I have a really funny story that's going to be coming. I'm not going to tell it right this second, but about our trip back to Lahore, and I think you'll find it funny, but it's certainly very personal from my point of view. So, and then we also have some exciting stuff going on. My mom's wedding is coming up, and I'm doing a lot of the planning of that and some different ideas and how we're going to pull it all together. So that'll be in 2 months, so we'll have some good stuff coming about that. So the difference between American weddings and Pakistan weddings, and we could show some of the differences there. I think it'll be a fun thing. And the weather's changing, so we're going to have some gardening going on. I need to put in our flower garden, and I'm going to attempt a real garden with some raised beds and stuff, so that ought to be some fun stuff coming up. Well, might be fun, may not be fun, but we're going to do it anyway. So other stuff you want to see, we're kind of dabbling in a lot of different things, so if there's stuff you want to see more or less of, and like I said, you know, we'll do our very best. I will. My husband might actually be starting up his own blog. He is really good with IT and training people. He knows so much on so many different platforms, and he might just start doing some videos on that. So if you see some stuff from mine that you are wanting to know, if you want to go ahead and make comments, I can let him see that, and he can start to do some videos on those things. And they'll be in a different section, but still under our family blog, or you know, our family channel. So if there's some things you're wanting to know about, and you happen to have stumbled upon my blog here, my vlog, you can make a request, and if he knows about it, he can go ahead and do that. I mean, he's really good with websites. Also, I mean, it's what he does for a living. I guess I'll be touching base soon. I got to get going. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed. Thanks.